everyone, welcome to another Philly Gives Back. In this episode, we're going to highlight two nonprofits in Philly that are, giving back. Coming up, Focus Youth Network tells us all about their mission, and we get an insider look into one of their Focus Friday events. If you like coffee and a good cause, we will be taking a look at the Monkey and the Elephant Cafe and what they do. Not enough to look forward to? Well, we also have a special guest from the Monkey and the Elephant in the studio to tell us even more. Stay tuned. Welcome to Philly Gives Back. I'm your host, Hannah Balkowski, and today we are highlighting two nonprofits that are making an impact on the Philadelphia community. The two nonprofits are Focus Youth Network and the Monkey and the Elephant Cafe. When I say these organizations are amazing, I mean it. My crew and I went to their locations to see what they're all about. Our first nonprofit is run by Devin Buchanan, who used to host LTV's show called Youth Uncut. He's made an incredible impact in Philly, and his nonprofit Focus Youth Network is continuing that impact. Focus stands for Finding Ourselves Creates Unlimited Success, and the group has so many programs and events that help youth achieve this motto. One event they do is called Focus Fridays, where they host an event on the first Friday of each month. My crew and I went to their latest Focus Friday, and I must say, it was awesome. Don't believe me? See for yourself. We're at the Focus Youth Network at one of their events called Focus Friday. Tonight's theme is game night. So let's go see what they're all about and what they're doing.
I'm glad everybody can come tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to do some...
My name is Devin Buchanan. I'm the founder and executive director of the Focus Youth Network. We're a nonprofit organization that provides innovative, educational, and recreational activities for youth and their families. So our Focus Friday this month, so we have a different theme every month. Last month we had a glow party. This month we're doing our family game night. We try to do that every other month as an opportunity just to get families out, give them parents a chance to engage with their families, their kids.
That's good! That's one.
I usually help with the youth, playing games with them or helping them with different activities. I set up with the tables, chairs, games, put away different equipments and stuff.
Oh, roller coaster, okay.
You're gonna see, probably 8 to 10 families coming in, engaging in various minute-to-win-it challenges, board games, eating pizza, listening to music, just enjoying time together.
For the win! Oh!
I started off in youth education and recreation in college. I majored in recreation and leisure services, and I started off at the YMCA. It was my first job kind of as a senior in college. And at that time, I recognized that after-school programs were an integral part of kids' development, how they're developing their character, how they're becoming the people that they truly want to be. But I realized that schools just weren't providing that. It's just kind of a cookie-cutter education system that we have. Kids don't really have the opportunity to develop that identity. And so I kind of took it upon myself to say, I see a problem, I see an issue. How can I be the solution for that problem?
I was at the library with my staff, and we were looking at volunteering place, and I just kind of was amazed at how this foundation was. It was all new to me because volunteering here was just a new experience. People here are just kind of nice, funny, great people. So I just love volunteering anywhere I can. It's kind of like a good way of giving back to the community.
No matter. Keep on practicing. Oh, you want it? All right.
So our three pillars are wellness and nutrition education, character development, and college and career readiness. And one of the things that I've recognized as an educator is that there are a number of things that students just really aren't getting when they get to school. Students have great time in gym, and they have, they learn a lot of different things in gym, but they really don't have the opportunity to apply that knowledge. And so we have, cooking classes and things like that. And then when it comes to nutrition education, and then college and career readiness, and all the other things that we do, we really want to ensure that youth are getting kind of that field experience. The things that they learn in school, we're able to bridge the gap between education and opportunity. And so college and career readiness, we offer a workforce development program, which really gives kids that kind of intro to what am I supposed to do on a job. So we do a trip, we try to do a trip a month. We recently just did a rock climbing trip. Really that is to get kids the opportunity to have an innovative experience to build character. We've really found that when kids have new experiences, they're kind of open up to doing new things, and then that pushes them to try things in the future. So we do our rock climbing trip. We have our Brothers program, which stands for Brothers Reaching Out to Help Each Reach Success. And that's our mentor program. Really what that does is give kids the opportunity, particularly young men of color, the opportunity to get together in a stress-free environment, just talk about the issues that sometimes they go through and support one another through those things. And so we found that this is a great way to build community and give kids the opportunity to, get out on their own and do things they've never done before.
The youth in Philadelphia is kind of, for these kids, it's kind of like a place where they can go spend time with other kids and not get into trouble.
I like to think of our program tackling three main areas. And so it's how you view yourself, your self-concept, how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem, and then the belief in what you can do, and that's your self-efficacy. And so ultimately, as kids participate in these things, they build up how they view themselves on a daily basis. How do I see myself? And then once that happens, do I feel confident about what I'm seeing? And then if I feel confident, what do I do with that level of confidence? How can I go out and make a positive impact on the world? And so, through our community service and different trips, we really try to usher kids through those three, kind of what I call the three selves, and help them to really figure out what it is that I can do with these skills.
Focus Youth Network provides many opportunities for the community to get involved.
I like to think about, the community as an arm of what we do. And so we really try to provide people three main ways that they can do it. And so one of the things is if you have a space, if you run a program, if you have an organization, how can we partner to serve more kids, right? If you are part of a church or part of an organization that serves people, how can we partner with you to do that? The second thing is serving with us. And so maybe you don't have that, but you have time that you can donate. And so, just coming out, we have volunteers like Tamba, other people who come out and give their time. And so that's one way that you can do it. The other way is monetarily. So if you have resources, whether it be money, whether it be a donation of food, things like that, to help us support like our Focus Friday program, which is completely free to youth and their families. And so we're always looking for people who can either donate their time or their money to help grow the program.
When I get home, I'm usually blessed. Ever since I can remember, I just enjoy volunteering and helping with these foundations. It's the people, it's the family, it's mostly the kids.
One of my oldest mentees now just turned 18, and he started with me when he was 11. And so seeing the change in him from being an 11-year-old sixth grader to being an 18-year-old senior now, and having developed those skills and reaching out to figure out how he can serve, how can I make an effect on my community. And so I think ultimately being an example for kids and helping them to kind of see what is it that I can just do to help other people as I'm finding my way, I think that's the most rewarding thing.
For me, it's just kind of amazing how we just come together and support them.
We had a great time tonight here at Focus Friday for the Focus Youth Network. If you'd like to check out more, you can check them out at their website at focusyouth.network.org. Now, back to the studio.
I honestly had the best time with Focus Youth Network during their family game night. When we got there, we immediately felt the sense of community, and Devin really is an amazing mentor for the youth. I would definitely check out their website, focusyouth.network.org, for more information, or if you want to support their cause. Our second nonprofit is a cafe that employs former foster youth in Philadelphia. They have everything your typical cafe would have and more. My team and I visited their location to check out the cafe, try some of their menu, and hear from some amazing employees. Check it out. We are at the Monkey and the Elephant Cafe here in Philadelphia, and we're gonna go ahead inside, talk to some staff members, and see what they offer here.
The Monkey and Elephant is a nonprofit organization, so all of our participant age range is 18 to 24. You have to have any ties to DHS or the foster care system.
We're the only nonprofit cafe in Philly, and I'm pretty sure we're the first on the East Coast. Why it's so special to Philly is that we work in workforce development and we work with youth who are aging out of foster care, but we are really good at providing them some stability as soon as they work with us, which is by having a job as a barista, and then the additional programming support that comes in, I think is really unique to our organization.
It gets youth from foster care off of the streets, away from violence, and an opportunity to change their life around. Some of the circumstances give us a chance to really show the world who we are.
Being considered a smaller organization allows us to really cater our resources to each individual. So every young person that comes with us, even if they have similar barriers per se, they look different just because everyone's different. And so we're able to really tap into each person and say, okay, what do you need and what do you need and how can we do this and how can we kind of set you up for success?
Growing up in Philadelphia, there are resources, but most people my age or younger are maybe too afraid to reach out or don't know anything about the resources.
When I first started out, I was a program employee, and then after my year was up, I actually stayed on and became the head baker, and then I left for a year, came back as a supervisor, and then after a supervisor, I was the merchandise coordinator, and then after merchandise coordinator, I became the general manager. As the cafe manager, I handle all of the on-floor training, all of the workforce development. The general cafe hours are 7 to 4, Tuesday through Sunday. So we do traditional Italian bistro, so we have all your specialty drinks as well, like lattes, cappuccinos, macchiatos, cortados. We make all our bakers in-house, so everybody get trained as a baker. We make cookies, scones, muffins.
Rice Krispie treats, croissants, oatmeal bars.
All our teas are unsweetened. We have 3 different categories: black, herbal, and green tea. We are famous for our chai. We make our chai from scratch. We make almost everything in the cafe from scratch. Anybody who has ties to the foster care system or local businesses is who we usually try to keep as our vendors.
There's a lot of indoor seating, a lot of customers. When it gets warmer, they come outside.
We typically have an event once a month during our peak season, so warmer months really. So we start from April and we run till the rest of the year. And we work with artists in our community who are local. There aren't a lot of places in general in Philadelphia who are willing to allow a space for you to have your art and not, charge you a crazy fee, or they're not as maybe supportive in the ways that artists need who are independent.
A lot of people who age out of the foster care system don't have that support system needed and don't have the tools to navigate adulthood. So we try to bridge that gap.
The job really feels like a family, and so I think that's really important when they come to work, it genuinely feels like a safe environment for them to be in.
I feel like this right here is a good opportunity for kids or like young adults to explore, learn what they like, what they want to do, and a chance to discover, like find out who you are, what you like about yourself.
We had a great time visiting the location for the Monkey and Elephant Cafe today. I got an iced latte. Caitlin, what did you get?
I got an iced matcha, and we're gonna head back to the studio for more information.
Caitlin, an iced matcha sounds so good right now. I tried their chai latte and I must say it is fantastic. The location is so cute and I love all the artwork they have. It made it the perfect cozy spot for sipping a latte. It really is a great coffee for a great cause, such a great cause that we have Executive Director Kamal Marell in studio to tell us even more about it. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to learn more all about the Monkey and the Elephant.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so to start off, could you tell us a little bit about the organization on a whole? Like, what is it?
Yeah, so the Monkey and the Elephant is a nonprofit cafe that supports young adults aging out of foster care. It had somewhat of an interesting start. Of course, the name is interesting, but its inception started, the founder had a transformative experience in Africa. She was doing some work with young adults and had a special connection with a couple of young adults who were in an orphanage in a country in Africa. And some of the similar issues that we see young adults facing who are aging out of foster care in the States, she saw in those young adults. And through that relationship, she wanted to, in a way, alleviate some of the barriers that they experienced, and of course that some of the young adults in the States experienced. And so when she moved back to the States, she remained in contact with the young adults and a way that they were able to stay in communication. Sometimes the experiences weren't, or situations weren't as safe. So in a way, they used code words to talk over the phone and to let each other know that it was safe. And so she chose her favorite animal, he chose his favorite animal. The Monkey and the Elephant sort of came to be in that way. She decided her background was in retail in the coffee space, but in order to have somewhat of a nonprofit build behind that, she decided to start pop-up shops throughout the city and eventually raise enough capital through support and funding that she started Monkey and the Elephant. We've been at 2831 West Girard Avenue for close to 8 years now. Well, actually 8 years as of a week or so ago.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's an interesting story behind the name, because I was wondering, like, what is this name? It's so unique.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely is something that catches the ear, for
Yes,
sure.
it definitely does, and that's
Yeah,
important.
definitely.
And so you were talking about some of the barriers that, you know, foster youth experience once they're out of the system. Can you talk to us a little bit about those barriers?
Yeah, well, I mean, a large majority of young adults who age out of foster care, once they hit a certain age, a lot of the supports that they were receiving prior to that age, prior to 18, sort of just goes away, unfortunately. And so they are forced to be, their adulthood sort of hits them quicker than some of their peers. And whether that be homelessness, young adults who are experiencing mental health issues, young adults who are in need of support from a familial standpoint, that isn't as prevalent in their lives as it is in some of their peers. And so they at times can struggle. And I think it's important that Monkey and the Elephant and other organizations throughout the city sort of support them when it comes to their needs, when it comes to supporting them, when it comes to housing. Of course, a lot of young adults are transient, and that doesn't have to say that they're sleeping on the street. That could be couch surfing, that could be sleeping in cars, that can be sort of shacking up with friends. But it's a lot more difficult to find success and really have an idea about what you want to do when you have so many other things that you have to worry about that sort of can deter you from moving forward and having like an open mind about what your life can look like towards that early adulthood stage.
Right, and that's why organizations like the Monkey and the Elephant is so important
Definitely.
to Philadelphia too. Like, you know, they make a huge impact here in the city.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
awesome. So can you tell us about the employment process for the youth? Like, how do they get started at the Monkey and the Elephant?
Yeah, so primarily we partner with different organizations throughout the city. Achieving Independence Center, AIC, is one of our lead partners that we work with. They work directly with the Department of Human Services, DHS, and pretty much them and other organizations sort of just referrals for young adults who are looking for work, who have experienced or aged out of foster care, and they apply the same way they would at a regular coffee shop, but we are understanding of the needs and of the sort of empathy and grace that it takes to work with some young adults who may have had a traumatic past or who are in need of those supports. And so just a referral. And then we also have young adults who may not work directly with those partnership organizations, but they have experienced times in foster care, and so they can come in off the street and sort of the same way they would apply, and we'll look at a resume and talk to them about more what the employment training program looks like, and then go from there.
Right, and so that employment training program, what are some of the services that you provide to the youth?
Right, so we teach them how to be baristas, first and foremost, how to work the floor of a cafe, and also when it comes to they receive professional development, at least 2 hours of professional development every week. So that is to assist with their financial literacy skills, life skills, soft skills when it comes to being employed in any space. Those things are really important when it comes to making sure that they're prepared and ready once they leave the employment training program. So the employment training works in 2 phases, and those phases, the first phase is about 9 to 12 months, and it's pretty much just really getting them acclimated to being in a work environment, of course, and as well navigating the space that they're in and then the spaces that they're going to occupy moving forward. The second phase gives them an opportunity to be shift leads, which is more, of course, more pay, but also more responsibility. But it just allows them to, if they're looking to work in restaurant space, they have an opportunity to take their ServSafe certificate, which allows, or ServSafe exam, excuse me, which allows them to be managers in restaurant spaces. So that also takes about 9 to 12 months, but it's also an option for them if they're looking to expand in a career in the workshop. I mean, excuse me, in the restaurant space.
Right.
Yeah.
And so how long can you guarantee employment for?
So at least 9 to 12 months. Yeah.
Right, that's awesome.
It definitely is. So the first phase for sure, and then once they hit that, however many shifts that it takes for, it's usually about 100 shifts that they have to work. Once that shift amount is hit, we can say that they've graduated, so they can either stay on board to the shift lead program, or we can find other opportunities for employment outside. And what we want to make sure is that we're driving home is that we are adamant about making sure that the young adults are employed before leaving M&E, and that's whether or not it's a supportive space along the Girard Avenue corridor. We have a lot of businesses that we partner with along that strip, or if it's just something that they're interested in. But I think giving them an opportunity to identify what they want to do and using our resources and connections to connect them with those.
I think that's really important too, to have like those career building, tools available to you and all that. So that's amazing. So you're the executive director. What is kind of your role? Like, what do you do? Probably a lot of things, but.
Yeah, it's a lot. We're a smaller organization, so my hands are in a lot of places, but honestly, it's about maintaining partnerships. It's about making sure that we have support from our donors and funders. It's about letting them know, or letting the community know why M&E exists, what we're doing, and why it's important to support. I think that's what primarily the executive director does, but it's also about understanding the needs and wants of young adults who are aging out of foster care. So making sure that I am keeping my ear to the streets, I guess you could say, making sure that I know what trends are happening, what sorts of supports are out there for our young adults.
Right.
And making sure that in doing that, I'm supporting them and creating agency and advocating for them as best as I can.
Right. And so what are some of the volunteer opportunities that the community can kind of get involved with, or donation process?
Well, the donation process is directly on our website, www.monkeyandtheelephant.org. It's drawn out, but it's there. And the donation button and that information is right there. But we also have volunteer opportunities for those who are looking to join the board as a committee member or join the board for a long-term, on a longer-term purpose. We also have, we're always looking for employment opportunities or mentoring opportunities for our young adults to get into after they graduate the program. So you could reach out directly to me, you could reach out to our program manager, Kayla, but those opportunities to volunteer, to work with M&E from a volunteer or mentoring program piece, or also we have the backyard space. So we have a lot of community opportunities. We have a lot of community partners that use that space to host events, host fundraisers, but at the end of the day, when you're doing that, it gives back directly to M&E, and it also allows other people to know about M&E and what we do.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, this organization is so special and unique to Philadelphia. I think in the package, Kayla was saying that it's the only nonprofit cafe. And I think that's something that's truly unique and amazing.
Yeah,
definitely. Thank you so much for, you know, joining us today and telling us all about it. I'm very, you know, I'm going to be going back.
Yeah, whenever you and the cast and the crew need to fill up on coffee or tea or baked goods, whatever, make sure that you stop through. It's definitely a unique space that we enjoy being a part of.
Yeah, so thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we covered a lot about this nonprofit, so if you need a refresh or just want to learn more, you can check out their website at themonkeyandtheelephant.org. And again, a huge thank you to Kamal for coming in studio to tell us all about this amazing nonprofit cafe. I'm going to have to go down to the cafe more often to try everything on their menu. And with that, this episode of Philly Gives Back has come to an end, but don't worry, we'll be back with even more nonprofits very soon. Thanks to both Focus Youth Network and the Monkey and the Elephant for sharing their time and knowledge. It's nonprofits like these that really make Philadelphia the city of brotherly love. And if you want to see some behind the scenes of Philly Gives Back, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Philly Gives Back LTV. Shout out to our social media manager, London Reese, for making some awesome content. For LTV's Philly Gives Back, I'm Hannah Balkowski, and we'll see you next time.